that will be answered by Sir Rob and Sir Gab. But for the player and for aspect of game of Mobile Legend, malaki talaga yung magbabago. And we're ready for it. We're hungry for it. And be ready na lang talaga. Thank you.
Next question for Sir Rob. I know that the goal with this partnership, grabe yung ilaw. The goal with this partnership is to provide change to the infrastructure of how we want to develop the ecosystem. If you can, no, if you can lang naman, can you disclose some short-term plans? Like, are you planning to produce some tournaments? Are you planning to do some workshops? Kasi we're at this point already now. We want something concrete that is laid out in a short-term and a long-term scale. So, ang hinahanap kasi natin dito, platform. Do we have something in our timeline for NXP and Evos' partnership?
Okay, so that's quite a tricky one, because there are things that we cannot disclose, but there are things that we can. But to provide you a good insight on what we plan together with this partnership now, because of course, I get your question and we really appreciate it. Now you're expecting a lot or change, a big change from us as well, from Nexplay because of this partnership. So if we're talking about what could be the big change or things that we can go about, one of which would be the training regimen of the players, right? Past few seasons ago, I think sinabi na rin ni Doggy from his vlogs and from his live streams, there are lapses and complacency or lacks from the previous seasons when we joined the MPL. And with this partnership, we have to make everything robust in terms of how we train and how we go about with metas and the whole competitive scene of it from the MPL side or from our team. For NDL, I think we've discussed now we are doing the tryouts together with Doggy, wherein we can look for new teams that would show their potential, so to speak. And there will be tournaments as well. We are going to be having tournaments this last quarter of 2021. But in terms of specific details, I cannot lay it out yet. We are going to finalize it with Evos as well. And then once we have, it will be very, very visible online. And we'll make sure that also, of course, everyone would know about it on how we're going to make things work on this partnership.
All right, thank you. I'm really excited with your endeavors now, and I wish you all the best in the next few months.
All right, thank you so much. Now we have another shoutcaster who has his question.
Hello, I'm Renmar, shoutcaster for MPL. I think we're all very familiar with the effect that NXP has on viewerships. Kasi lagi na pag may laro yung NXP, taas ng viewerships na kagad. So, are there any plans that you can share that NXP and Evos are working on together to bring fan engagement and fan involvement to the next level?
Well, in terms of bringing, I would say, traffic, right, to that, I think, look, we will be dishing out more content. That's most definitely going to happen. If you look at the social media pages of Evos across the board, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, they have one of the highest ones across the region, right? And we want, and Nexplay as well, on that regard, right? So what we want to do is actually leverage each other's best practices, right? Leverage each other's resources to actually create more content for the name that we combine together, especially here in the Philippines. And that means also giving more opportunities for the pro players, for the talents, content creators, and all the gamers around the competitive scene to have more opportunities for them. So you can, watch out for that plans moving along, right? Definitely, we're gonna have more, further reach as, combining these two big organizations. It's just natural that we'll be able to get more engagement with our fan base, and it's just gonna keep growing.
So as of now, it's mostly just really produce more content for the fans.
Most definitely, because I think on the management, discipline, training regimen, Rob and Doggy has already expounded on that. I think that's one of the things that we can add to the table as well, aside from the pro esports team plans that we have as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Renmar. Now we head over here again to another group of shoutcasters for their questions. And we start off here with Mr. Leo.
Hello, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. New Nexplay, Evos family. Leo, nga pala, MPL shoutcaster. AKOSI Dogie was one of our first shoutcasters in the MPL sa Pilipinas. And nabanggit kanina na Nexplay Evos will do its best to not only cultivate excellence in the athletes, di ba, competing, pero kundi rin sa ibang parte ng esports bilang talents, shoutcasters, influencers, streamers. Do we have teasers or meron ba tayo pwede i-share tungkol sa possible moves to help out these other types of public figures in the esports industry?
Hirap ng tanong na yun, pero ano yun? So, basically, nabanggit ko na to sa, hindi ko na alam kung kanino, pero sa isang shoutcaster that pag natapos na yung gaming house na and bootcamp na pinapagawa ko, we will have a podcast giving shoutcasters an opportunity to have their aspects for the game. Invite namin sila doon. And not just on Mobile Legends. Syempre for all kind of esports game. And we're Filipino, we love chismis. And let's be honest. So, ganun din yung magaganap doon. We're gonna talk about chismis sa esports. We love it. We like it. It can go viral. It will boom. Nourishment sa esports sin natin and lahat matutulungan doon. And every content creator will be happy for that. Every content creator na kumukuha ng video, kukuha din doon and it can boom their channel. It will help you grow your engagement. Mas lalo ka malalagay sa bigger picture. And yeah, madami. And not just us, basically, every esports team. So, pero kasi kami may pinakamalaking fan base and so kami tinututukan. But ganun din dapat mangyari sa ibang team and tutulungan din namin sila. It's not just us because right now we need to help each other to make esports boom here, which is boom na. Kaso nga lang, may negativity, but chismis, like, ayun yung gusto ng Pilipino eh. So, yeah. Okay na ba yun nasagot, tol?
All right, thank you so much for that answer. Now we also have another caster with a question.
Hey, what's up? Si Wolf nga, shoutcaster. On behalf of the shoutcasters, ang tanong namin, kasi NXP known sa mga stories nila yun eh, lalong-lalo na sa pagpapahype, di ba? Season 6, Season 7, iba yung kwento. Sa ngayon, ano yung story na pwede natin expect or yung story na isusulat nyo for the upcoming season?
We're aiming for, of course, championship, right? So I think that's the main storyline for our short term here. And one of our goals together with Evos is to make that happen, right? Of course, it's not going to be easy. You know, there's a big shift that needs to happen on our team, right? You guys are a witness to that. So expect that we are going to be more, more systemized, right? More disciplined, more strict, and also has a great system that we were going to implement throughout the team itself. I think that's one key aspect of what we want to happen on this storyline, right? But the overarching story that really what we want to achieve is not just, the short-term championships, but actually the long-term ones. We have a lot of games that we will be expecting to, of course, win as well. You have your M3, right? You have your SEA Games if ever we will be involved, and MSCs and the next season. So I think we want to be able to create a system that is repeatable, and it's not going to be an easy ride, but we're here to stay and we're here to make it happen together with our partner Evos. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Uwomi, new caster for MPL Philippines. I'd like to ask this question to all three of you. And gusto ko din lang malaman kung ano yung priorities nyo for the upcoming MPLPH Season 8, mainly on how you want to allocate your resources. Are you gonna go all in for winning the championship? Or, as you said, Sir Gab, mag-long term ba kayo? Mas pag-iisipan nyo ba yung long term?
I can go first and then them. I think just to answer it vaguely, MPL is coming, no? And in terms of priority, I think what we need to prioritize the most is our main lineup, because it starts from there. From that lineup, from that solid main lineup, which we will announce anytime soon or probably in the next couple of weeks. We will have to parang figure out, not really figure out, but make our training robust on that lineup. That's actually our focus, and everything will follow, and that's where Doggy can say something about it.
Next time, dalian nyo naman yung question. Here you go. Like sabi ni Sir Rob, nakafocus ako kasi ako yung tao na hindi nagtitingin like on a long term. Yung pinakamalayang tinitingnan ko if magiging futuristic thinker ako is only 3 months. Mas lalo na pagdating sa Mobile Legend, right? Dito sa MPL Season 8 is first thing na iniisip ko, hindi ko pa iniisip yung regular season, playoff, and M3 SEA Games. Ang iniisip ko, maayos muna yung lineup namin. Because that's the first step. Always think about the first step. Hindi tayo pwedeng tumakbo agad papunta doon. Kailangan natin yung unang hakbang. And ayun lang yung gusto kong gawin is maayos na lineup. We can have a powerhouse that can compete from other teams and can compete internationally, makasabay. So ayun yung tinitingnan ko ngayon. Which is super hirap kasi like people think na nagpa-prank ako. But stressed out na ako. Like, to be honest, I can be totally honest with you guys. I'm freaking stressed out. Like, mawawala yung big three ko, mawawala yung mga player ko, mawawala si ganito, sino yung papasok, player messaging me, like, they don't go to our management, which is so weird. So, mini-message nila ako, and then I is telling them that, sige, message mo yung management mo, mag-uusap kami, and yeah. So, ngayon, line up una talaga. Line up. Then after that, we can talk about what's gonna happen next. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that answer, Doggy. And now the final question for this conference is going to come from Manjin Feldas.
Hello, una po sa lahat, maraming salamat sa pag-invite sa amin. And congratulations sa new partnership. With the rise of esports sa Philippines and Mobile Legends, MPL, nakakita na tayo ng mga partnership between international brands and local brands like yun, Nexplay, Evos. May thoughts ba kayo regarding mixture ng players from, sabihin natin, Indonesia, na magiging kampe ng 3, like your big 3, ganon. And probably coaching staff in the future, open ba ang Nexplay sa ganong klaseng possibility ng pag-mix ng foreigner sa local talent? Yun lang.
Sure. So I think the three of us can answer, but I'll lead one, right? Straight to the point, we're actually doing that right now with this specific partnership. We're sharing resources as we speak, right? So we are closely communicating with the head coach of Evos, with all their coaching staff. So in terms of managing, the back end of how an esports team will run, we're already doing that cross-border from Indonesia to Singapore to Philippines. So we're collaborating, all the best practices we can actually bring to the table to make this happen. Now, in terms of players, I think that's Moonston's decision, right? Currently, I haven't seen inter-country, inter-regional in terms of the composition. Management side, I think I can safely say that we're already doing it in terms of collaboration and sharing the resources and infrastructure that both Nexplay and Evos has built and solidified. Yeah.
Actually, I'm just gonna make my answer very, very simple. I would say yes, the opportunity is there. Uh, but if the rule permits us to have an import, then we are open for that. But in terms of coachings and management, that is already happening and gonna happen because it's actually one of the basic that we can also come up with in terms of this partnership. We have a lot of things to share, and we also open to be educated on what could work and what it couldn't. So yeah, we are in the end, we are open for that.
Sasabihin ko lang yung sinabi ni Sir Rob ulit eh. I mean, open kami doon. Like, to be honest, and I'm excited for that. Kasi, growing up from Europe na sa mga esports, ang dami ko nakikitang ganun. And yung iba kumukuha sa Korea, sa ganto-ganto. And sana dumating din yun sa atin para maging healthy at makikita nila na Mobile Legends is super big. Na kailangan mo na din ng ibang bansa, may talent doon. Kasi, like, you cannot say you're the best in the world kung di kasama yung mga sa ibang country, right? Like, we're talking about, when you say M2, ano lang yung nandun na team? Walang EU, walang Korea, walang China. Maybe may naglalago doon, malakas. Hindi lang di-discover. So, I'm open for that, sa totoo lang. Diba? So, gustong-gusto ko yun, and it can happen. It might happen. Maybe, masyado maaga ngayon. Maybe, pwede na ngayon. You never know. What can player provide, basically?
All right, thank you so much again for those answers. And this is the very last question that will come from one of the Nexplay talents.
안녕하세요. 나레이처 립스입니다. charot lang ho. My name is Richard Allison. I'm affiliation is actually Nexplay talent. So my first question, since there are two emerging corporations like the Nexplay and Evos, so this is actually aside from the professional team. So we as talents, do you also have plans like opportunities, workshops, seminars for us? Because we are also considering, hindi kasi gusto namin na hindi na kami stagnant. So hindi naman siya hindi namin gusto na stagnant lang kami, may gusto din kaming maabot ng professional team. So gusto ko lang po malaman na nagko-consider po ba kayo ng talents to professional? Kasi we also knew that talent streaming or playing Mobile Legends at stream is actually completely different sa professional po. But there are also some streamers that is actually capable and maalam po talaga sa ganun. So I am actually from Mindanao. So I just came here to attend this seminar. I flew from Mindanao to Manila just to attend this one po. And aside from meeting my idols, yung mga idolo natin, I also want to raise this concern as to my small streamers, talents. This opportunity topic po. Yan lang po.
Okay. All right. So because of the light, I cannot see you. So I'm looking there. Ang ganda ng question mo, no? And we are very glad that we have this kind of question, especially from our own network, from our talents as well. Of course, absolutely. We are open for that. I mean, all of that thing that we do, like with the network, with the pro player, and what Doggy does in terms of the Pampanga bootcamp, he keeps on getting players, start from small things and then makes them bigger. It's the same structure on how we do it as well, even in talents. So when we do open up, like say for example, we do open up a new esport team, tryouts and and for another game, everyone is open to apply for it. Like if you think that you can make it, then we are gonna, of course, you can apply for it and do your best for that tryout as well, so that you can prove that aside from Nexplay talent, streamers, or influencer, you can still take part and compete in a competitive side of the game. No, so we are open for that. We don't want any barrier. Feel free to do so. It's either with Nexplay or through other esports organizations. Not just with Nexplay though. We don't want to limit your opportunity for anything, especially with Nexplay. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, you can.
All right, and that concludes our Q&A for this event. And of course, guys, on behalf, we would like to thank you, Sir Rob, Sir Gabriel, and Doggy for answering their questions. So guys, please give us a round of applause for them. All right. So again,